Hey everyone, this is Black Binder, and today we are starting a new Let's Play. The votes were tallied, and Sun Paladin won through. All the votes, they got like one vote. So Sun Paladin was the first person to ask, so that's what we will do. Alright, normally Ogre is the obvious choice for Sun Paladin because they can use both the one-handed plus shield tree and the two-handed tree, because they can dual wield they can wield a two-hander in one hand and a shield in the other. Now, normally I don't like to go with the obvious most powerful choice, but I'm having a hell of a time actually getting a Sun Paladin up past level 20 or around there. I always die, so I'm not even gonna test it. Whatever, we're just gonna go for the most powerful choice that we can from the start, which is an Ogre, Sun Paladin. And we won't be going Radiance because that's my caster Sun Paladin build and it's just not worth it. Early on we'll try to rely on Sunray, but let's go ahead and get rid of the Stunning Blow because we will be using Shield first for a while until we get 5 out of 5 for Grizzly Constitution. Sunray, it's our casting spell. It's really probably not worth it to go into this at all, but when you get critical strikes, it basically lets you instantly use Sunray, which is free damage. But let's look at them. Shield Pummel hits the target with 2 shield strikes, doing 131% and 160% shield damage. If it hits a second time, it stuns. We're not really using it for the damage, we're using it for the stun. Weapon of Light, every time we hit, we do extra light damage, and then if we have a shield, it adds 9 absorption to that shield. Not super powerful, that extra bit, but because I guess you could get a couple hundred extra if you had a particularly powerful shield that they weren't breaking through immediately, but remember, you got to hit with it, so you have to melee hit with it, so chances are that they'll most likely break through your shield in 2 hits, regardless of Weapon of Light, but the extra light damage will help early on. Sunray just does 57 light damage to the target. At level 3, the ray will be so intense it will blind the target and everyone in a radius 2. The blind is actually kind of helpful, but really low damage. Eventually it gets respectable, though, if you go caster. It should be decent enough for us since we'll be going magic, but not full caster mode. Ogre Wrath, we get increases stun and pinning resistance by 20% and all damage done by 10%. In addition, whenever you use an infusion or rune, miss a melee attack, or any damage you deal is reduced by a damage shield or similar effect, you gain a charge of Ogre Fury, up to 5 charges, each lasting 7 turns. Each charge grants 20% critical damage power and 5% critical strike chance. You lose a charge each time you deal a critical strike. Basically just damage increase. That's just a damage increase, and it's free, so use it at the start of every fight, basically. That's how I think of it. We'll go put 2... No, you know what? Let's just go all strength, because we've already got 16 magic. That's good enough for now. Because we can get another point in Sunray next level. Healing Light just heals us. It's okay. It's less useful as the game goes on, but it's still useful if you can back around a corner and then use it, but using it while you're being hit is almost not useful late game, although you will see me do it because sometimes I run out of options. I hope it crits and I hope they miss, and then maybe that turn will be useful. But anyway, Chant Acolyte, increase Chant of Fortitude increases your life. Chant of Fortress increases your physical resistance by a little bit, armor by a little bit, and armor hardiness by 15%. I used to think that was the best one, but now I usually go Chant of Fortitude because hit points are always useful, physical resistance may not always be useful, and armor hardiness isn't as important as I used to think it was. But we'll probably be going Chant of Resistance for most of the game. Increases your fire, cold, lightning, and acid resistances by 4%, and reduces all damage that come from distant enemies, which will be... it reduces damage from distant enemies by 15%. I was going to say we're weak to those, but really we're weak to everything. If you noticed, if you've gone through these before, we don't really get any passive damage resistance. We can lower the damage of enemies, but we rarely get any mitigation other than chant these chants. So Really not. They're very. They seem very tanky in the beginning when your heals actually outdo the damage that the enemies are doing, but I don't like that they're all heals, basically. Like, even second life, like, it's just a heal, basically, when you get down to 0 life. But we'll just have to focus more on defenses and our gearing choices. We want to get all of our resistances up, a decent amount of armor. That should be easy. The armor, I mean. And then, what else? Resistances, armor. Can't think of anything else we might need. These are too big for us to use. There is something I'm forgetting, but I don't remember what it is. Alright, Chant of Resistance and Weapon of Light is both on. We got Embers of Rage Anniversary. We'll put it on, but we probably won't use it. 5 Cunning, 3 Will. We get it because this is the anniversary of whatever. Something. Embers of Rage, I think. 10% chance when you are hurt to negate the blow entirely. It is good, but like, you guys, if anybody watches this not on the anniversary, then you won't have access to that. So I'm not gonna use it. Like, when I get a replacement. Alright. Got very poor accuracy, because ogres have low dexterity, I think. I mean, I know they have low dexterity, but I don't know if that's actually the problem. I'm going to go ahead and get Weapons Mastery, which is going to go straight up. We're not trying anything fancy. He's a bumping class that does a little bit of extra light damage. That's really it. We could go full light damage and use stabs, one-handed stabs, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do the way that I know to make him strong. Alright. Why are you not coming out? Come on. I don't know if I want to fight these guys because they have poison. Or do they? Actually, no, they don't. No, they don't. Okay, so we're good. Blind them all. So we could put this up here. I did a little a test run with this class and race combo like yesterday, just to make sure I was able to do it. Pretty much died by level 13, so. But if you guys haven't noticed, my win rate on my Let's Plays is like orders of magnitude bigger and better than my win rate on when I'm just playing by myself. I must be quite a bit more careful when I'm playing in front of people. We're gonna switch to Gale Force, even if I were gonna use that cog. Right now, the Gale Force is more useful to me because it is free damage, free AOE damage even. So you know what? Let's throw these around for now. Make it easier to access. Wait for him. I'm not going to try to fight this guy because he'd probably kick my butt. Or it's possible that he could kick my butt. Not necessarily that it's going to happen, but yeah, I'm actually curious if I'm going to be able to get past tier 2s with this guy, because like I said, my win rate with like on camera is so much. Ooh, Wrap of Stone. It's a very good cape to find this early. 5% resistance to physical, 5% physical damage, a bunch of masters who don't care about spell power 6, and entomb yourself in a wall of stone for 3 turns. So if we're in trouble, we need to wait for a few turns, cast this. As long as they don't have wraith form and they're not ghosts, we will be safe. But yeah, I'm super curious if I'm actually going to be able to get very far with this guy. I've made one to end game, a ghoul end game, but it was in Nightmare, and I still lost with him, so we'll see. But that was like one of my very first classes that I made to end game. No. I was going to get that Shattering Afflictions rune, but it's just a worse version of ours. Ouch. To be careful that I'm not just auto-moving. Like, without paying attention, I guess. It would be really nice if we could find a Chorus Fall. That would get us through the early game with no issues whatsoever. And I just missed. Awesome. Not like I missed, like they dodged me. I clicked on the wrong spot and shot my spell at nobody. It's amazing how often I do that. Yes, Constitution, sure. Blindness immunity. Nah, this one's better for us. Pinning immunity and Constitution. This has better resistances, but I think we'll be okay. Armor 6, that's very good. I will take that. 13 armor. Yes, we will hold on to it because it is better than ours. Not including resistances, but we're okay for now. For fire resistance. Fire resistance, it usually, a lot of the time it disperses itself because a lot of the times it's a dot damage that you're going to get hit with fire and not necessarily the spiky damage. Alright. Nope. Are we pinned? Who pinned me? Alright, this guy's an Oozmancer, but he is he's a worm mass, so he should be easy enough to kill. Same with mice. Even if they're a Rand boss, you should be able to kill him in one shot. Alright. We want to wait for him to teleport away. No, he's not going to, so let's... This guy's easy enough to kill. If you can see how slowly his abilities are moving, we could just sit back this entire time and just shoot him with our Sunray. But I am going to try to get a little closer, so at least we can Gale Force. And we'll just sit here, shield before we go out, just in case he has a spell that I don't know about. There we go. Leveled up. Awesome. Is it possible to change my username to Gallon of PCP? Drum beater, he's funny. I feel like he might be on PCP sometimes. He's just random. Let's check here. Glint War. 10 to 14. Nope, less than ours and not as good. Getting lucky here. Rapistone and 80 life and 2 life regeneration plate hands. Got 3 armor and 2 strength versus what? 4 armor and 3 light radius. That's what I want. Brass lantern of health. Okay. Let's get out of here. I died as a mouse. I want to retry. Well, a retry you will get, sir. Alright, we're level 6. I usually go to the arena at like about 8 or 9. So, and with this guy, I'm sure we would have issues with the second dude. What do we want to put our points into? Let's get magic up to 20. Put it in wave of power. Now this might actually be a decent attack. But it's hard for me to tell. So let's just go through it and you guys tell me what you think. In a pure display of power, you project a ranged melee attack doing up to 215% weapon damage. If the target is outside of melee range, you have a chance to project a second attack against it for 140% weapon damage. The second strike chance increases with distance up to 58% at a maximum range of 5. So at a range of 5, on average, you should be doing about 285% weapon damage. That does seem good. The only issue with the Sun Paladin is, at least up to mid-game, you have so many sustains on, you rarely have even, you don't have enough positive energy to really ever cast it. Let's go ahead and take these 2 points out. We'll put them back in, but I just don't want to keep them there if we don't need them right at this moment. Let's get this up to 24, right? No, we need 28. So we need this at 25, so next level we can put them in there. I think we're level 7. Nope, level 6, but whatever. We'll keep it there anyway. Let's go ahead and get heavy armor training so we can wear massive armor. Chant Illuminate. Your chants now bathe you in a cloak of light, which increases your stamina and mana regenerations by 0.41. What is the point of that? Like, we don't have mana, and neither does Anorthal. So this is that mana regeneration is there purely for like escorts, other classes getting escorts, pretty much. But it also does 9.59 light damage to anyone who hits you in melee. Past early game, that's useless, but decent enough. Bathe in Light. This actually gets very good later on because it scales weirdly. It must scale like doubly so on itself, but let's go through it and you'll see why. A magical zone of sunlight appears around you, healing and shielding all within a radius of 2 for 11 damage per turn and increasing healing effects on everyone within 19%. The effects last for up to 7 turns. Existing damage shields will be added to instead of overwritten and have the duration set to 2 if it isn't higher. If the same shield is refreshed 20 times, it will become unstable and explode. I've tried that before. It didn't work, but whatever. It also lights up the affected area. The amount healed will increase with the magic stat. Now, on the Archmage, back when we could get this, you still can in Embers of Rage, I think, but not in Age of Ascendancy anymore. But on an Archmage, endgame, casting this is just, it's an 1100 damage shield somehow. Like, I don't know. Like, if you sit there for 7 turns and you let it run its course, you will have an 1100 damage damage shield, which I don't see how these values do not equal that. But I guess we'll find out later on. We'll watch it turn for turn and see what happens. This we will need to get up to... Oh, Jesus, really? I think, yeah, because our master is only 1. We're going to have to get this up to 5. So, wait, hold on. Yeah. What this does is it allows counter strikes after incomplete blocks. We don't have to block the full amount of damage. It increases the duration by 1 up to 2 turns, but this is the main reason. It increases the number of counter strikes you can perform on a target while they're invulnerable or vulnerable by 1 up to 2 at level 5. Increases the crit chance of counter strikes. Yeah, that's okay, but whatever. It's because assault. The assault hits a target with your shield first, and then it hits with an automatic critical strike with your weapon. And the problem with that is the Counter-Strike debuff is eaten up by the first shield attack, which shield attacks suck because we don't have any shield mastery. Or they don't suck, but obviously the second hit will be much higher. What do we want to do here? I do want to get Path of the Sun 1 more point, so it's basically, it goes from range 4, which is bleh, to range 6, which is actually usable. And then we'll just go ahead and max out Sunray for now. We'll float 4 points into Sunray because we need to leave it at 1 out of 5 regardless. And the rest of these, we don't need more than 1 point in right now. And you know what? Let's put Wave of Power up at 3 because we're going to be using that before Shield Pummel, hopefully. Alright, let's hold off because there's a bee back there. I want to get them all. Nice. Did that do light damage? No. Okay, it's just my Weapon of Light. I was hoping my Wave of Power wasn't doing light damage. And it didn't. Some of his abilities, they turn the damage into light damage. Obviously because he's a Sun Paladin, but I don't like that. Let's wait for them to get closer. Smash him, back up, smash him. Shatter Afflictions rune to get rid of that stupid Confuse. Another Worm Mass Oozemancer. If it was any other thing except for a mouse or a worm mass, I would actually be an issue. These friggin' thought forms do a ton of damage if you're not wearing heavy armor, like early on. Like this guy's more dangerous than this guy half the time, or recently anyway, that I've been, like they've been chunking me at low levels. The thought forms have. Let's Gale Force to get him away from us. Dang it. It is another Oozemancer. Alright, let's stun him. Hit him. Wait for these oozes to despawn, or at least one of them to. And then we'll... Well, he died anyway. Thankfully, he was a Midge Swarm. Midge Swarms are dangerous if they're like melee dudes, but not so much as an Oozemancer. What do we got here? What is this? 3 Constitution and Stamina and Resistance. Nah, we'll stick with the armor for now. War Axe of Persecution. No, that's... Alright, here we go. Damage radius 1 on hit plus 5. And this also does more damage too, so we'll take it. Galahad. You know what? We don't have any boots, so we'll just put it on. Don't need that. Light radius 5, damage physical. No, I'm sticking with the health for now. Alright. So, for those of you who didn't watch my recent EverQuest video, the reason why I've been gone for a week is that I got totally screwed over by crap breaking right when it snowed. And I've just been... I don't want to say stressed out because I don't really like stress isn't like a negative thing for me. Like if you work at a gas station, it's easy and unstressful, right? But it's incredibly boring when the stress is equal to or greater than the boredom. Like you don't feel the boredom, which it's so much better. Like it's not even close. Like your days always days drag on when you're bored, but when you're stressed enough, it's like days you don't have enough time in a day. So it's better in my opinion. But anyway, I was just too really stressed out to make videos. I didn't want to fake being, oh yeah, this is awesome, because I'm not gonna do that. But anyway, my 2 snowblowers broke. My first one broke, and I'm like, okay, I've got a backup. Second one broke, and I was like, okay, well tomorrow, I think it was the next day, I was getting a plow put on because I was like, I hate freaking blowing snow. It just takes way too long. And but it turned out the $900 plow that I had bought the mount didn't fit for my truck. So it was going to cost another $1,500 just to get the mount. And this plow was old. I wasn't going to spend... I want to get these 3 within range of my Gale Force, whatever. I wasn't going to spend almost... it would have been about $2,500 on this plow because it was a crappy plow. So they're just like, well, we can put you a new one on for $5,000. And it just pretty much like I don't really have $5,000 just to spend on that, you know. But I really didn't have a choice because that was also the quickest option. Like outside of buying two more new snowblowers, it was the quickest option because the cables that broke on them is basically just the auger cables or the clutch cables or whatever. They not only didn't have any in the stores around my area, but they were also the parts distributors were on back order or whatever it's called. So they couldn't get them. They weren't going to get them for like until March. And it's just like, ugh, it was crap. So, but everything's good now. So, and hopefully now that I spent a ton of money on shit that I don't really need, it's probably not going to snow again. All right, what do we want to do in this position? I need to block so I can survive a turn. Why didn't that go off cooldown? Let's go Ogre Wrath. I'm going to go ahead and Stone Wrap. Fuck. I wanted it to kill him because this actually does damage. It does 66 damage around me. But obviously it didn't work. Thank you, but I fear I will not survive anyway. We'll go back. We can kill those guys, but we got surrounded because I'm stupid. Raven Shear. 5 armor? Yes, better than what I have on. Freeze Stun? No. 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 Perfect Strike? We'll take it just because we need a pickaxe, but I'm not going to get rid of my Gale Force yet. 116 versus 105. We'll take it. And that's it. But yeah, it's all good now. I at least have a plow, so if it does snow again, it'll be a little easier for me. Oh yeah, and then I had to go out. Like, even though my snow blowers were broken, I still had to go out and, like, I couldn't find anything except for, like, buying something. Whoops. So what I did was I took the small, it didn't snow a lot, so I just took the small snow blower, and what I did was I found where the cable goes and I rethreaded it through, and then I just tied a monkey wrench to it, but it wasn't quite long enough because it snapped. So the whole time I'm like bending over to pull up this monkey wrench to get the snowblower to work, and I had to do, God, I think like 15 driveways like that, and it just, like, my whole back like seized up. Like, I wasn't even done yet. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I went to sleep and woke up and my back hurt. No, it was that day. Like, before I was done, it started hurting. Just like a complete rock or a steel rod in my back that I couldn't bend. And I couldn't even have my helper come help me either because I had one machine. It's pointless. If he came there, one of us would be watching or shoveling, which is too slow to actually be worth it money-wise. But whatever. It's all good now, It can't always be fun. Well, snow is never fun, but lawn mowing is. All right, where are we at now? Trollmire 3, what are you? Precise Strike, so let's knock you back. Wave of Power you, and boom. We are level 8, so let's check out, oh yeah, my favorite one, Martyr, or Weapon of Wrath. Gives you the Martyrdom debuff. Your weapon attacks burn with Righteous Fury, dealing 60% of your lost hit points as additional fire damage. I wish I was light damage, because, like, this is the only thing we have that does fire damage. Excuse me. Up to 97 damage, extra fire damage, which is really nice. Targets struck are also afflicted with a martyrdom effect that causes them to take 10% of all damage they deal for 4 turns. This used to kill me all the time when something would martyr me, but they either got rid of it or I've just gotten so much better it never happens, because it used to happen quite often. Like, I'd flurry and kill myself because 10% of the damage I did was my entire hit points. But alright, I used to think this was bad because it says deals 60% of your lost hit points as additional fire damage up to 97. So I was like, wait, so it does 97 damage if I'm like at 1% hit points? No. 60% of your lost hit points. So let me see here. If we lose 100 damage, or if we lose 100 life, 60% of that would be 60. So really we only have to lose it's a small amount of hit points. A small amount of hit points to actually max that out. So it's really nice, especially early on. Just remember to turn it off if you're fighting Luminous Horrors. Let me look at it once more just to make sure I didn't get that wrong. 60% of your lost hit points. Yeah, okay, I'm right. I usually put 2 points into it, because that next one brings it up to 131. And then after that, diminishing returns really doesn't hit it that hard, but proc-based on-hit damage doesn't scale that great. Let's go Shield Slam, right? Is that what we want? No, because that triggers block, which is fine, but we don't need block yet. Sun's Vengeance. This is a passive. Infuse yourself with the Raging Fury of the Sun, increasing your physical and spell critical chance by 3%. That's just good. It's a 3% every time. No, the last 3 are 2%, but that's whatever. That's fine. It's still crit chance. Good for us either way. Each time you crit with a physical attack or spell, you have a up to 75% chance to gain Sun's Vengeance for 2 turns. While affected by Sun's Vengeance, your Sun Ray will take no time to use, so instant. We can just cast it whenever. And it will deal 25% more damage. It's not a lot more damage, but it's free damage, so whatever. It's good. Plus, it blinds people, which can be helpful as well. It's surprisingly helpful, actually. It's just hard to actually parse when it's helping you. If Sunray was on cooldown, the remaining turns are reduced by 1 instead. This effect can only happen once per turn. Alright, Grizzly Constitution gives a spell save, improves the contribution of primary stats on infusions and runes by 50%, makes your infusions stronger, good. At level 5, your body is so strong that you can use a 2-handed weapon in your main hand while still using offhand items. When using a 2-handed weapon this way, you suffer a 20% accuracy, physical power, spell power, and mind power penalty, decreasing by 5% per size, category above big. That's nothing. You don't got to worry about that. But for us specifically, the next part does. All damage procs from your weapons are reduced by 50%. So this Weapon of Wrath goes down by like 50 points basically, which is quite a bit, honestly. But by the time we get this to 5 out of 5 and find a decent 2-hander to go with a decent shield, it won't really matter all that much unless we're using a weapon that has on-hit damage, which we probably also won't do. Barrier. A protective shield forms around you that lasts for up to 10 turns and negates up to 237 damage. The total damage the barrier can absorb will increase with your spell power and can crit. Barrier is actually, if you get a lot of crit chance, well, I guess it doesn't matter how much crit chance you have. You can always get a crit if you do it before battle, but if you get a lot of crit power, this actually becomes one of the stronger shields in the game. So it just, to make up for that, though, it sucks before you get spell power or crit and crit power. So Chant Adept. Your skill at chanting now extends the Cloak of Light, increasing your light radius by 1. Also, when you start a new chant, you will be cured of all cross-tier effects and cured of up to 1 debuffs. I never remember to use this, but I need to. But let's go with Barrier for now. What we'll do is, I'll just cast it at the beginning of every battle, probably. Alright, we're good. Yes? Are we good? Yes. I forgot to take points out of this. Oh well. Doesn't matter. We've got... with diminishing returns, there's a lot of points that we'll have. And like there is a bunch of stuff we want to put for class points. But if you take diminishing returns into effect by level 50, we'll have those extra points anyway. And we will probably want to put them in there anyway. So... floating points just helps us out early on, and I forgot because I'm an idiot. I forgot to take them out. Tattered paper scrap, boom! Alright, Prox's Lucky Halfling Foot. Ooh, Skull Cleaver. That is a very good one-hander for us. Lifesteal, this weapon only 10%. Damage conversion, 25% blight. We don't like that, but whatever. Wait a minute. Oh, it doesn't proc greater weapon focus anymore. Well, whatever. It just does a lot of damage then. Well, a lot of damage for an early game one-hander. Where is he shooting me from? All the way up here. The only annoying part about Sun's Vengeance is it's very hard to tell when it's actually... You have to watch for the debuff to make sure you actually have it. Or the buff. See, like right there, it went off. And there it went off. This way leads to a dangerous troll. Tundra nail. Yeah, that's better than ours. Slightly less regeneration, but 0.2. It's not that much. And that's everything. Holy Anus died. Holy Holeeanus. Holy Anus. Anus. Yes, I'm one of those people in the WoW chats that laughs at the anal jokes. They're just funny. I can't help it. Alright, we want to make sure this guy, he can smash us. One of his abilities does a lot of damage, so we have to be careful. You always need to be close to topped off, or you need to back off. Because he will hit you with something that hits hard. I don't know what it is. Probably Shattering Blow, but I don't know. Sonic Shield, we'll take it, but I like our Gale Force for now. Alright, we are level 10 now, so we can go beat some people up in the arena after we actually use our point. What do we want to use it on first? I want to use it on Radiance first, but, or not Radiance, Crusader first, but we don't have a two-hander. But we have to pick one because I'm not going to wait till level 36 to unlock both, you know? Excuse me. Didn't mean to slurp my coffee. Absorption Strike is really good. Wait, what? Okay, there we go. I thought I missed it. It lowers their light resistance, which I think is new, but normally their damage is reduced by 19% for 5 turns. I thought it was more than that, but whatever. This requires a two-hander too. Whatever, we'll keep it for now. We don't have the points to unlock them anyway, or to use any of those. So let's get strength up to 36. Magic also needs to get up to 36 in 2 levels. Fudge. You know what? Screw it. We'll just get Guardian. Because now that I'm looking at it, there aren't a lot that I need to put a ton of points into except for these little ones. And this is maxed out. Okay. We'll go into Chant Adept. Don't really need it right now, actually. You know what? Let's go Combat Accuracy, just so I know I'm going to be able to hit things. Movement. Yes, we want this. Then Healing. 127 at 14. Yeah, that's better. Or 191 at 15. That's more useful for us. Get rid of Blink. 191 instead of shielding. Would be nice if we could find a Rune of Reflection as well. Pretty much carries my Anorithal. The only Anorithal I've made it to the east and back with is I leaned heavily on a Rune of Reflection. That axe was okay, but I think we're good for now. I'm gonna keep getting our weapon up because that's our main form of damage. How the hell do I win the Lost Wife dream? You have to kill the Lost Wife, I think. The troll lady. Alright. We're going to basically be operating with very, very little positive energy. This puts us down to 27. Holy cow. Chant of resistance, sustain, positive energy cost is 20. I didn't realize the chants, their sustains were so costly. Alright, we've got Shadow Blade / Warmick here. Push him back. Let's keep fighting him from a distance. How do you kill her? I just kited as best I could. It's been a while though. It's the solipsist unlock, I think. Alright. Back up, back up, back up. This guy's melee, and he's in front of the ranged person, so we're kind of safe right here for now. Alright. Let's go ahead and smash him with shield. Get rid of that confusion. Wave of power. You know what? Let's block. Yeah, it lasts 2 turns. Why not? And we got him with the counter strike because he's apparently a little too quick for his own good. Let's speed up and just smash him. Nope, this was the archer. Okay, I thought the other dude was. Got recovery, Sawbusher. Oh shit! I was supposed to end the episode after Bill, but whatever. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'll see you guys here in just a little bit. Take it easy.